The Davis Cup is rapidly approaching with the United States quarterfinal tie against Belgium April 6th through the 8th at Belmont. The U.S. has announced its roster, and it looks very similar to the team that beat Serbia in round one. American tennis great Jim Courier is the captain of the U.S. side for the 8th straight year and joins us on the phone. Jim, how nice is it to have the roster set and, barring some sort of crazy injury the next week in Miami, know what you'll have to work with against Belgium?
Yeah, no, it's wonderful that all the guys at the moment are healthy, they're happy, they're excited to come, and we're bringing a very veteran team with a ton of experience in to take on the Belgians. The 4 players that played in Serbia in the first round will be with us, as will be our #1 ranked singles player, Jack Sock. So we're definitely looking forward to going in and battling the Belgians.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's largely the same lineup you had for round one, but you do add Jack Sock, who is the highest ranked American in the world currently at number 11. What does he add to the lineup?
Well, first of all, Jack obviously is a fantastic singles player. He won a big tournament at the end of last year at Paris Indoor. That propelled him into the top 10 in the world. He's also one of the world's best doubles players, and he's been a mainstay for us for the past year or so, playing doubles as well for the team. So we have a lot of versatility. All 5 of our players are accomplished singles and doubles players, so I think we have a lot of options to adjust if we need to, based on lineups from the other team and just based on how everyone's feeling throughout the week as we get ready to play.
Yeah, tennis fans just saw Sock and John Isner win their 10th doubles title together at Indian Wells over the weekend. How tempted are you going to be to pair those 2 guys together against the Belgians?
We have a little group chat between the team members, and there's already a lot of chatter on there about how difficult it's going to be to crack the doubles lineup for anybody because we have so many good options. Ryan Harrison won the French Open doubles title last year, so he's a Grand Slam winner in doubles. We have a lot to choose from. It's definitely a high-class problem to have.
By my count, Jim, if you count Sock, Sam Querrey, and John Isner, you have 3 guys ranked in the top 17 in the world. Is this as deep as the men's U.S. field has been for some time there at the top?
Yeah, it's as deep as we've been probably since the Andy Roddick, Marty Fish, James Blake era, when we had those guys were cracking hard. Robbie Ginepri was also a big part of that, a semifinalist at the U.S. Open one year. So it's been a while since we've had the kind of depth, certainly in singles. So it's nice. The team is shaping up well. It's a good draw on paper, the Belgians, but it's hard to say. We've had plenty of Davis Cup ties where we've been heavy favorites on paper and had some problems. So we certainly don't overlook anyone that's coming to play against us.
Pretty much all these guys have some significant Davis Cup experience in their past. How important can that be when you get into the pressure of an event like this?
Yeah, it's a big factor. Davis Cup pressure is unlike anything that tennis players face, male tennis players, throughout the year, because you're playing for your teammates, you're playing for the tennis fans in America, and they don't call game Sock or game Querrey, they call game United States, and that just adds a little bit of a different element. So having been in the fire with these guys, having watched them deal with the stresses of Davis Cup, knowing what they're capable of, it's a big feeling of relief, really, in many ways for me as the captain, to know that they've been there and done that, and hopefully it's just about executing under pressure out there.
He's not on the roster, but Jim, another guy who will be with you here that week is Brian Baker, the Nashville native who's had so many ups and downs in his career. It's really amazing that he's still going and having the level of success that he's had. What can he add to your team and to, frankly, the whole week here in Nashville around the Davis Cup?
Yeah, well, so this season, Robbie Ginepri is the coach of the team, so I'm the captain, so Robbie works effectively as the assistant. And with us coming to Nashville and with Brian being there and still recovering from surgery, it was a great opportunity to get him involved as well. So I called him a little while ago, asked him if he would be willing to come serve as a volunteer assistant coach for the team. He was very eager to say yes, which was wonderful, and we look forward to having him with us for the practice week, helping our guys get ready. He's a very good strategist as well, so hopefully he can help us with some game planning as we look towards the matches over the weekend.
And as you mentioned, you never quite know what you're going to get in terms of the lineup on the other side, but there's always a test no matter who you face in the Davis Cup. Belgium was the runner-up in the event last year, so how big of the challenge do you think you're going to be facing in a couple weeks from the team across the net?
Yeah, look, we certainly respect them. Getting to the finals is a big accomplishment. They nearly upset the French. They lost in the fifth match over that weekend. They won 2 matches. The French won 3, so they were right there. We know they're tough. We know that they're also very experienced. We don't know exactly who they're going to offer up yet, but we certainly will as we get closer to it. We just have to be ready for whatever they throw. There's one thing, Steve, that I think we found traditionally is that Davis Cup brings out the best in a lot of underdog players. They really get up, and especially when they're playing against an American team. Something about playing the United States for certainly smaller nations tends to get them pretty jacked up. So we certainly will be ready for anything that they bring at us.
Jacked up is a good way to describe the Davis Cup environment. Jim, for people who are just a casual tennis fan, maybe they're mostly used to Wimbledon or the U.S. Open, how different will that environment be in the Curb Center when you get 5,000 people rocking between points?
Oh, I think it's very, very different. This is more akin to a college basketball environment or a college football type environment where the people should be very very loud when we win a point. Making noise in between points is expected. It's not. This is not a cathedral. This is a competitive environment between two nations battling. So we hope that our crowd will be very fired up. And the Belgians, I'm sure, will also travel with a contingent, and they will make a lot of noise for not a lot of people. We've seen that plenty of times when we've played at home as well. So we're definitely looking forward to having some support. We played last couple matches on the road. It's going to be great to feel the love from the home crowd.
Well, if you want a college basketball type of atmosphere, you pick the right arena, that's for sure. And Coach, I have to ask you, you won 2 Davis Cups yourself as a player, but the U.S. as a country hasn't won the title in over 10 years. What would it mean to return that cup to American soil this year?
It would be incredible to, on a personal level, to be a part of a winning team as captain. It would be a dream come true for me. And our players are so dedicated to Davis Cup. It's not an easy thing to necessarily always say yes to when you have to get on a plane and travel to Serbia in February. The schedule can be challenging, but these guys desperately want to win for themselves, for the team, and for the tennis fans in America. We know how long it's been. We know that America has won more of these than anyone else, and we want to desperately get back on top. And we've got one down. We got to get past the Belgians and then get on into the semifinals and see if we can take this thing all the way in 2018.
That's right. The next step is beating Belgium in a couple weeks here in Nashville. Jim Kerr, thanks so much for the time. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks so much, Steve. Take care.